Have you ever thought about how society is set up to have women compete against each other for male attention? I think about this shit a lot because every time I hear some silly ass bitch on YouTube or Facebook or some video, whatever, talk about, well, you can't keep your man. You can't even get a man. And then niggas be perpetuating that bullshit too. That's why you single. You can't even get a man. Do you have a man? All these things that I don't know if you guys really pay attention to that. All of these messages that you hear are designed to put you in a mind state where you think that you've accomplished some great, life enriching, wealth building, status creating achievement because you have some motherfucker with a dick in your bed. Now, let me break this down for you because it starts when we're young. It starts really young. And I think, as kids, adolescents, we don't know what we're hearing. We don't know the damage that it's doing to us. We don't understand what these women and men are telling us and how they're setting us up to make ourselves have low self-esteem and to be desperate for a man and to do too much for men and all this stuff and seek male validation. We don't understand it yet. We're kids. We're 12, 13, 14 years old. That's when the bullshit starts. Because here comes the people, oh, do you have a boyfriend yet? Oh, you so pretty. I know boys are after you. Oh, I know, then here come the other girls, I like so-and-so and he likes you. I'm going to beat your ass. And they try to scratch up your face and rip out your hair and talk about you and tell the guys lies about you. I mean, all of these things are designed to put women in a position where they're fighting for male attention. They're fighting to have to be recognized by guys, to quote get a man, to keep the man that they want, to get a man from some other woman. I mean, it's all this stuff. You guys have to really think about this. And then when you have daughters, please talk to them about this kind of thing so that they can recognize when they've being hit with this propaganda and what the long-term damage will be to their psyche. We as adults, we have got to stop this nonsense from perpetuating itself and damaging our daughters. So when you hear that kind of stuff, what does it make you feel? People say, well, that's why you single. Nobody wants you. That's why your man left you. You can't keep a man. What did you do wrong to make him leave? What did you do to make him cheat? See, they put every responsibility for male behaviors on you. And this is a big thing with black males. They'll do this shit in a heartbeat because we already know they don't want to be responsible for shit that they do. So they're going to put everything on you. If they cheat on you, somehow that's your fault. If they don't marry you, somehow that's your fault. If they fuck over you and leave you with a baby, that's your fault. If you are single, that's your fault. If you with a dude who beat your ass, that's your fault. I mean, whatever happens, somehow they're going to flip it around to be you. It can't ever be the fact that the dude is just stupid and fucked up and stupid and, all crazy in the head and all that stuff. They never want to be accountable or responsible for any decisions that they make or any behaviors that they exhibit towards women. So we already know that. But I'm talking about the part where you guys absorb these messages and you absorb it in a way that makes those messages have validity, and you absorb it in a way that you start being down on yourself. That's what that's the stuff I want to address, because you have to believe that you are a wonderful person. You have to understand that any woman going into a relationship where she feels like she's less than the man, that she needs him to complete herself, that she's nothing without him, you're already putting yourself in a position where you're going to be abused. That is the abusive mindset. So you'll take a whole bunch of shit. You'll accept disrespect. You'll accept cheating. You'll accept him kicking your ass. You'll accept him fucking your kids. You'll accept him doing drugs up in your house, stealing your money, stealing your TV, stealing your jewelry, not working. I mean, you'll accept all kind of bullshit because in your mind, the most important thing is to have a man. So you're not thinking about the damage that's going on around you, the war zone that you're creating in your household with this motherfucker in it. You're not thinking about that. All you're thinking about is, I need to do everything possible. I have to submit, I have to cook, I have to clean, I have to fuck him whenever he wants to. All the stuff, you're doing it out of fear of loss. So that if you believe, if you don't let him do what he wants to do, and you don't do the stuff that he wants you to do for him, that he'll leave you, and then you'll be in this lost and confused state where you don't have a man, and all these people are going to be teasing you and taunting you and condemning you for not having one, and you can't stand the thought that that's what you're going to be, and that's how people are going to talk about you. And I'm like, if that's really your mindset, please get some therapy. I don't want to call you a bunch of names because I understand the source of this kind of stuff, but I'm telling you that shit is wrong. I'm telling you that mindset is all fucked up. I'm telling you that you need to do something to change yourself and stop thinking like that, because all you're doing is fucking over yourself. And like I said in the video yesterday, kids watch everything. You think your kids are going to be listening to you? They're watching every goddamn thing you do. You bring a bunch of niggas in the house, fucking the niggas, this nigga spending the night, your kids are seeing that. It's especially damaging if you have sons, because they think that then they'll think all women don't want to do is just fuck off men all the time. And a lot of these guys have that mindset. And I know when I see it, it's because their mama was a hoe. And so they don't want to, it's one thing to have an active sex life. It's a hoe to do it over your fucking kids and bring the shit in your house. You don't do that. You go to where the niggas are so your kids feel safe and secure in their environment. Don't bring niggas around your kids. I can't stress this enough. Or you have these situations where your kids witness you doing too much for niggas. You cooking, you letting them come over and eat up all your food, even though you have children, kids hungry, and you feed some miscellaneous stray nigga. What the fuck is that? Who does that? Are you that desperate to have some dick? Get a dildo. This is ridiculous. So I see this a lot. I hear these complaints a lot. I've witnessed it myself, from friends of mine, people I knew, acquaintances, whatever you want to call them. And I also hear it from guys, as they reflect on their childhood, they reflect on women that they've screwed or women that they've known. It's a real problem. And I think a lot of women you're in an environment where this kind of behavior and these expectations are normalized. You don't really see the problem with it because everyone in your environment has the same mindset. What I do on this channel is to present you with options and alternative viewpoints. And so you can start to think. Don't always go through life just on this one treadmill. You need to jump off and turn around and look at things a different way. And I'm telling you, if you have absorbed any messages where you feel like you're less of a person, that anything that your man does is your fault, that you have the power to make him do or not do things that hurt you, if you think that the criticisms from other women about how your man behaves are all your responsibility, see, then you are a victim of what I'm talking about. If a motherfucker cheats on you, that was his decision. There's nothing that you did. There's nothing that you said. He decided to take his dick elsewhere. But the only power that you have in that whole situation is if you decide to stay with him or not. That's your decision. That's your power right there. You can always leave him. You don't have to stay. If a guy hits you and people are like, well, what did you do? You must have made him mad. You did this somehow. It can't be that he just has no self-control and is a violent fucker. It has to be something that you said or you did. No, he decided to do that, and that was his responsibility. He's the only one accountable for where he puts his hands. That's all on him. So you guys got to change your mindset. And I see some, I used to be on the board of directors of a safe place here in Oakland. It's a battered, women's shelter kind of organization. And, got to see this shit firsthand. You don't, so many women would feel guilty. Well, I said this and I did that. And, I didn't have his dinner ready at 6:00 like he wanted. And, blah, blah, blah. And so they're absorbing all this guilt and responsibility for a male violence towards them, when in reality, he's the one who decided to be violent. You had nothing to do with it, because he could have just said, oh, I was really hungry. Well, when is dinner going to be ready? Okay, go watch TV, motherfucker. Or, dinner's not going to be ready till 7:30 because she had to work overtime. Then on your way home, stop at KFC or get you a burger or something from In-N-Out. I don't know what to tell you you're going to do. Eat an apple. Do something to make yourself feel better and stop putting the responsibility and blame on her. That's just not a fair thing to do. Also, when women are dating, right? So, guys will run scams. They'll pretend to be something that they're not. Um, I had a friend that just happened to. She was dating this guy, and then they got married. The day after they got back from their honeymoon, he quit his job, and he was just like lounging around the house. She was working, just doing everything, and he was just chilling. Now that they're married, I mean, she's like she couldn't really make him get a job, but the house that they were living in was a house that was purchased by her parents. They still had the title. So, of course, being the owners of the property, they had every right to kick that freeloader off out of it, and that's exactly what they did. And they told the daughter, I mean, you can go with him. We love you, but I mean, if that's what you want, you can go with him, or you can stay here. We'll make sure that you have a house, roof over your head, a house to live in, but he can't be here because he's not contributing. That's not what we signed on for as our son-in-law, and I'm sure that's not what you signed on for your husband. So they gave that motherfucker the boot. He thought he was gonna be living on, Easy Street, just chilling with his boys at the house, drinking up beer and smoking weed and shit all day. So they soon got rid of his ass. But I mean, this is the kind of bait and switch that happens with a lot of women, and people, will say, well, you should have chose better. And they don't look at the dynamics of what happened in the game that he ran. They, again, blame her for the nonsense that he did. So, but the main thing, though, of what I'm trying to say here is, ladies, you have to stop thinking that if you don't have a man in your life, and all these taunts and negative comments and the stuff that you will hear in our society, especially in Black culture, that involve you being less because you don't have a man, you got to ignore that shit. Or just do like me and fire back and say, well, shit, well, if it's so great, grand, and wonderful for a woman to have a man, then why do 80% of bitches who's married be filing for divorce? Okay, why? Why? Explain that shit. And they usually don't have an answer. So it's like, motherfuckers, please. I'm not stupid. You're the dummy. It's not, I know, I read a lot. I read facts and figures. I get so many notifications and news feed items from different websites that keep statistics from the government and other private organizations. I have a whole bunch of information and data up in my head. And there's nothing really that's really that positive. I mean, like an overwhelming positive for women about being involved with men. Not anymore. I don't know if it ever was, but I'm just telling you, with the violence, the murder rate by domestic partners and lovers and stuff, especially for Black women, more Black women are killed by men who claim to love them than are murders of men, of every other statistic. More women are killed, more Black women are killed by men who claim to love them. You can look those numbers up. It's frightening. So, I mean, it just seems like they say the most dangerous place for a Black child is in the womb of a Black woman. It seems like the most dangerous place for a Black woman is in a relationship with a Black man, because the chances are that he's going to either hurt you or kill you. And when you add those two numbers together, it's over 80%. So, really, what's the benefit to being in a relationship with a Black man? It's like very, very little. We got a 20%, that's decent, and the other 80% are stupid. So, I mean, y'all do that shit if you want to. I mean, you can find the 20% dudes. They are out there. But my thing is to warn you about the ones that are not, so that you don't get yourself caught up. And in a situation where you're going to be feeling pressured to be in a relationship with one of these knuckleheads based on what somebody outside of you says about what you need to be, what kind of acknowledgement you must have, what kind of parameters you must live your life in, and how you must be aligned with a man to be considered like a full person, you need to rethink that logic and rethink that kind of blame assignment and rethink that mentality that you must fit this script, because you can be a wonderful, happy, loving, well-read, well-traveled lady in society that's free. I mean, you can date around, date until you find a dude that you want to settle down with. That's the whole purpose of dating. That's what you're supposed to be doing. But please don't feel like you need to do it in a kind of some situation where you're desperate to have a dude, so you settle for anything that comes along that claims to want you. That's what I keep seeing, because you guys are so anxious to escape this label of single because of what people say to you, this negative shit. And niggas are the worst. They are the number one, do you have a man? well, you don't have a man, then, what's the point of talking to you? Because you don't know shit. You can't, it's like you can't even have an opinion unless you say that you have a man. It's just the most amazing thing. So that's what I wanted to say. That's on today's script. Please watch the messages that you let absorb into your spirit, especially when it concerns anything that's going to set you up to feel desperate, to feel, there's some scarcity, to feel like neediness, and to feel like you must settle for somebody, anybody, just to avoid the label of being single. All right. Deb Cooper from survivingdating.com. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Thanks everybody for submitting your ideas for videos and your advice questions. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye.